Hey there everyone, it is 80 here once again with another game of Starcraft 2. This will be a Zerg vs Protoss here on Metalopolis, and it is a game from the European servers on the ladder. Spawning first at the 6 o'clock is the blue Zerg Liquid HayprO. HayprO is a Swedish pro gamer whose real name is Hayder Hussein, and he is of course a member of Team Liquid. He is a longtime Brood War veteran who joined Team Liquid at the end of the first beta period of Starcraft 2. He was unfortunately eliminated from Code A, but now lives in the pro gaming house in Stockholm with the likes of TLO, Maro, and SJL. His opponent in this game will be the red Protoss up here, none other than WhiteRa himself. He is a Ukrainian pro gamer whose real name is Alexei Krupniv. He is sponsored by Duckload, which is why his name is Duckload Ra in the game whenever you see him playing on a ladder. He is a very long-time StarCraft veteran. He's earned the nickname Grandpa Toss because he is all the way up there in the stratosphere at 31 years of age. He got second at DreamHack Stockholm, losing 2-3 in the finals to MC, so of course no shame there. And as this is a game from the ladders, I'll just go ahead and give you guys their ladder information as well. Duckload Ra is ranked 45th in the European Grandmaster League with a 68.86% win rate. And the blue Zerg down here, HayprO, is ranked first in the Ramsey November division of the European Masters League with a 56.66% win rate. So we'll see these players duke it out here in cross positions on Metalopolis. Just from the ladders, I found a bunch of games in a row that feature HayprO, just because they happen to be all uploaded at once. And it's against WhiteRa, Dadama. I think there's one against someone else. I can't remember his name right now, but I'll go ahead and cast all of them. So it'll just be a Liquid HayprO spree right now. I hope you guys don't mind. He is one of my favorite players, as most of Team Liquid is, because, you know, they're really, really great for the StarCraft community, Team Liquid, the forums and all that, so definitely go check that out if you are brand new to the StarCraft community. It's a great place to start, and a great place to be the entire time you do participate in StarCraft 2 and the such. As we see, it looks like, nope, I thought that was a drone, but it's just an Overlord, as our Zerg player is going to be saving up minerals, though, so he will be expanding pretty soon. Going to do that right around 16 supply. He's our Zerg player. While the Protoss player actually choosing not to wall off here, just kind of still keeping his base close to his Nexus. Just now getting his Cyber Core started to warp in. Still spending more Chrono Boosts on probes though, so he is making sure he's got probes as much as possible, as the Drone Scout is about to find out that nothing crazy, no special tactics from WhiteRa today in this game. Jokingly referred to whenever WhiteRa does anything out of the ordinary, or, you know, something that you might perceive as cheese if you didn't know better. Looks like Zergling speed is going to be researched right now for our Zerg player as well. Will this pro be able to get a block off on the hatchery? Nope, it looks like it's going to be escorted out there by some Zerglings who are actually going to be running alongside it. And then one of them does start nipping at its heels, and there goes the hatchery, just now started, and a drone has started that transformation at the natural expansion. Looks like the wall is now going to be going up, so WhiteRa actually just waiting a little bit later to get the mini wall up at his front door. Now here comes the drone, scouting it a little bit around. Nope, it'll come back for another round, as he'll have to wait until he gets a stalker out to be able to deny this scouting. Chrono boosting out that warp gate, actually getting a sentry first, so this scout will be alive for a little bit longer, at least, as now Zerglings are in the main, but that's gateway going up just in the nick of time. This Zealot able to prevent those Zerglings from entering, so that Zealot doing its job completely perfectly. So very well done by WhiteRa, almost impeccable timing on those two gateways to seal off the front door just in time before those Zerglings were able to run by and see what was happening in the main. As the hatchery down here, just a little bit over halfway done for our Zerg player. WhiteRa is getting the pylon on the low ground, which means he's going to be having some thoughts of expanding here in the near future. We'll see just when that happens. He does have the third gateway on right now, as Warp Gate is just a little bit over halfway done. He will continue to Chrono Boost that out as this Queen is shambling on down there. She will be just a little bit early to the party, as the hatchery has not quite spawned yet. But hey, you might as well start that Queen's journey early, because it does take her forever and a day to get down there. Here comes the Nexus. Zergling's trying to poke in there and snipe it, but nope, they will not be enough, as the Nexus is able to gain health faster than those Zerglings can shoo it away. As now these Zerglings are just kind of poking in and out, as these two Zealots and two Sentries are trying to make them leave the scene. Here comes another Sentry right now for WhiteRa, so he is definitely favoring Sentries at the moment, because of course the sooner you get those, the more time they have to charge up that energy. Warp Gate is about to finish as a third base being taken by our Zerg player down here at the bottom right expansion, so he is definitely macroing like a boss at this point in the early stages of this game. Third base right around 6 minutes for HayprO, as his natural expansion is nice and up and running at his natural expansion. Looks like these Zerglings still poking around. One of them is in the orange, but the rest are enjoying full health. Will they be able to take out this probe? They do snipe a probe, losing one Zergling in the process, because of course that is a good exchange for HayprO. as the Orbital are going to be poking its head in there and seeing what's going on in WhiteRa's base. Getting another gateway here in the low ground, going to be starting that little mini wall up between the Nexus and the pylon here on the low ground. These Zerglings still being complete pests. I believe 2 of them have died, but the rest are still well and alive and kicking. Let's check on this third base. It is, approaching 2/3 of the way done. Kind of curious about the income tab. Let's take a look at that. Even in Harvesters right now, looks like HayprO is foregoing gas for the moment, which is allowing him to have a nice mineral advantage. And there we go. He's still droning up, so now he is going to be taking the advantage in the income tab. Looks like both these players sitting pretty high up there in the triple digits for APM. We'll see if that spikes during any major engagements here in the future. Zerglings poking in once again. Still a very, very sentry heavy composition for our Protest player. He is getting a Robo inside his base as well. Where is that? Show me a Robo. No, actually going to be at the front door. Robo facility and a Forge, so he is going to be teching up right now, as it looks like they're still trying to chase away these Zerglings who are still being so very pesky. This Zergling camping out there to see when and if WhiteRa takes his third base. HayprO's third base, meanwhile, has just now popped, and one lonely drone going to be transferring over there, met with another one, so they will be best friends forever, the first 2 to make it to that brand new third base for our Zerg player. The Robo and Forge are both about to finish for our Protoss, as it looks like his army is going to be moving out here. Will find the Zergling and take it out with relative ease, but the rest of the Zerglings do manage to run by into the main, as there is no longer a Zealot there blocking it. So it looks like they might be able to do some damage right now. One Zealot warping in, that will be rapidly eaten away, but not before taking a couple of Zerglings with it. These probes being pulled off the line do get taken out as well. So a couple of probes will be lost here, it looks like, from this mini run by from the Zerglings of HayprO. 2 Stalkers warped in. Will spell the ends of those Zerglings, however. Let's take a look at how many probes he did lose. 4 workers killed by our Zerg player. So, a small little assault right there. About even in terms of resources lost from Zerglings and drones. But, of course, drones pay for themselves in the long run, while Zerglings can only eat away other units. Let's take a look at that resources lost tab. HayprO is losing that a little bit right now, but he has killed more workers. So, in the long run, that is about even, I would say, at this point in the game. Ground weapons level 1 being researched by a Protest player, as well as it was going to be missile attacks, but now it's going to be melee attacks. So maybe a misclick right there from our Zerg player, as the third base for WhiteRa is about halfway done. Still another stream of Zerglings going to be poking around here. Will they be able to run up here? Probably not, as the entirety of our Protest composition is right there. Well, not the entirety, but the majority of it. The Zerglings do try to poke in there. One of them, it looks like, did get splattered in a gush of blood, and the rest will mourn his loss and try to remuster up a better strategy than running straight into the Protoss ball, because that did not work out the first time, as a cannon actually being put up there to bolster the defenses of that area. The observer on the field will take a look at what's happening inside our Zerg player's base. Just got that Roach Warren and the Evo Chamber researching melee attacks, so he will be focusing on the Zerglings rather than Roaches here at this point in the game. This third Nexus just now warping in, along with those cannons and pylons as well. Let's see if he transfers some probes over here. He is going to be transferring a small line of 5 probes. Make that 6 over to his third base and starting to get that nice and populated. Getting some Immortals right now. Not the best choice against Zerglings, so I'm not sure. I guess he saw that Roach Warren and decided Immortals would be nice. He, of course, does not know that our Zerg player is kind of focusing on melee attacks. Also getting that Baneling Nest is our Zerg player at this point in the game. Weapons level 1 about to be finished for our Protest player, so his units will be pretty effective against this small contingency of Zerglings. If they decide to poke in once again, they'll probably lose their lives. Dark Shrine going up for our Zerg player as well, so he is going to be getting some Dark Templars. Some fun coming out of WhiteRa in this game. Hopefully we get to see that happen. Maybe they will be able to do some damage, especially if he finds this 4th base unguarded, as the 4th hatchery just now starting for our Zerg player there at the top right player's natural expansion, so he will continue to be 1 base ahead once that pops. They are still even in Harvesters, but our Zerg player is enjoying a small lead in the income tab. Looks like weapons level 2 is now started for our Protest player, so he is definitely winning the upgrade battles at this point. It looks like 2 more gateways going to be put up here at the third base, and along with a pylon wall for this cannon, so playing some tower defense right there is that cannon. As a wave of Stalkers do warp in. Looks like he's getting a Warp Prism as well, so we'll have to keep an eye on that if he decides to drop and then warp in more units in the back door. That will be a lot of fun to watch, so hopefully we get to see that come to fruition as 1 gateway, and then, 2 more gateways going to be put up in his main base as well, as a bunch of Banelings are morphing in for our Zerg player. Where are those Banelings? Looks like I cannot find them at this point, but they are morphing in. Now they are, right here at the natural expansion for HayprO. Actually opting to keep these as Zerglings. Not sure why he did that, but oh, here they go. The Protoss army is moving out, and will find these Zerglings, and will probably rapidly kill them off. Will they be able to take anything with them? Nope, not even doing any damage to these Stalkers, only doing a smattering of shield damage to each of those 3 front Stalkers. And now WhiteRa will be expanding to the left player's natural expansion. So he is keeping up in the macro pretty nicely. Grandpa Taz doing some great macro, keeping up with his Zerg counterpart as the 4th base for HayprO is now popped, and his drones have started to transfer over there. As it looks like Dark Templar is moving down that side, while the Protoss army is moving down this side. A 2-directional attack, and looks like some Bane Rain happening inside that Overlord. So a lot of things happening right now as the Protoss ball is chilling right there. DTs, 3 of them are loose inside the middle line. They will be getting a ton of kills there at the middle line, as 2 Overlords are full of Banelings right there. Where is this third? Well, here comes a Warp Prism, has more Dark Templars warping into the main. So a lot of nonsense happening from WhiteRa right now. This expansion is completely shut down, and Overseer is here, so that will deny the Dark Templar effect right there. Will this Bane Rain be able to do some damage to counteract? Let's take a look at 11 workers killed right now by these Dark Templars at the 4th base, actually sniping that hatchery, so that is not good for our Zerg player. But here comes the Bane Rain, as that first Baneling pops nothing, but the second one does get a nice amount of probe. Great reaction time right there by WhiteRa. That first Overlord not as effective as it might otherwise have been, as another Overlord loses some Brain Rain here. Great reaction time by WhiteRa, losing the minimum, the absolute minimum of probes at this point in the game. Because if he had not reacted as perfectly as he did, those Banelings would have absolutely demolished his mineral line. So WhiteRa definitely getting the best of his opponent here at this point in the game. He is very, very lucky, or not lucky, but very, very skilled to have come to this point where the workers lost tab is still even, as he still has a Warp Prism full of Dark Templars down here at the main base of our Zerg player. This Overseer is basically telling that Warp Prism that he doesn't have to leave, but he has to get the heck up out of here. Or he doesn't have to go home, but he has to get the heck up out of here. I messed up that one liner pretty badly, but I'm sure you all got the gist of it.